Yo, 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 yo. What's the word? What's the word? Y'all know what time it is. Rappers and artists you never heard of. You know what I mean? We're going to get started. My man, Stiggz Stigalo, is going to be our guest in this hip-hop underground thing that we do. You know what I'm saying? We back. It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? I tried to put these things on, but we're going to let people get in. I'm going to see if I can request. I'm going to bring my man in, and we're going to listen to some tunes while I try to make this thing work. Matter of fact, I'm going to wait till I see people get in, but we're going to see what time it is. Yo, 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 what's the word? We live and direct. What up, what up, what up? It's Haak Blast, we live and direct. We're going to see what it is. Yeah. What's the word? What up, what up, what up? Stiggz is in full effect. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring him in. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. So, yo, we here. This is rappers and artists you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? We got my man Stiggz Stigalo as our guest today on rappers and artists you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get into some music. I'm trying to see if I could bring them in. Y'all know it's technical difficulties. I'm trying to bring them in. Add. Here we go. See, it says adding. And we're going to get into his joints right now. My man will be coming in. So for those who's in here right now, what up,
yes.
What's
We
up,
in the
baby?
building. We don't let technology stop us. We do not let technology stop us. We are Africans, not Africans. We are the true AI, not that fake AI. And I ain't talking about AI with the braids. I'm talking about African intuition. Let's go. Let's go.
Word. With that said, I'm gonna go right into it. You have that energetic, conscious style that's unparalleled to what I'm seeing. You are hype. You love your culture. What is that? Why Why do you love your culture so much? Let's start with that.
Hey, I'm blessed to be able to have that love. I feel blessed. It's my responsibility. It's like it's like if you ever been in love with a lady before, in love with somebody, and you really appreciate who she is or what that thing is that you're in love with. You know what I mean?
Right.
That passion, that feeling is something that's so far embedded in me that I'm thankful to have it. You know what I mean? It's my pleasure. It's my privilege. I feel chosen. I feel special. I feel anointed. I feel black-debated. That's my favorite word, black-debated. You know what I mean? Totally,
I like that. Right.
Totally black-debated.
Right. Like, for the people that's already watching, you already see the energy that we bring in. You know what I'm saying? Stiggz Stigalo, the energy he just claiming. With that said, too, brother, because now that you came in with that energy, I got to go into this before we get into the music. I'm gonna play a joint. But let me ask you this: in your joint, being black-debated, right? Am I saying that right?
Black-debated.
Black-debated. You do show images of black strong brothers, but one particular brother that I noticed in your joint was Amos Wilson. What is it about Amos Wilson? Because a lot of people show the other cats, and we know some people don't know about Amos Wilson, but what is it about Amos Wilson that's important to you? Because when I seen that, I said, oh, okay, you got Amos Wilson. Why was that image so important for you to have in front of one of your, I forget what video that was. Do you remember?
I believe that was the Crown Me King video.
Right.
The Crown Me King video.
Right.
So what I was looking to show, somebody trying to call me. What I was first of all, I have to give a shout out to my man Shabaka Moasar. Shabaka Moasar is the one who shot my video. He gave me a lot of the B-roll and so on and so forth. And what I was aiming for in the whole video was to show not just black leaders, black excellence and black sacrifice that people don't normally see. You know what I mean? So it's really to highlight as many people or as many things that people don't see on the norm. And that's what was, like you were saying, a lot of people aren't familiar with Amos, as well as other things that were inside the video. So my main thing is really awareness. Awareness of people who've been slept on. We don't hear about Amos. We don't hear about a lot of people that put in hardcore, everyday, uncompromised work that we reap the benefits of to this day right now. You know what I mean? So that was one of my main purposes of putting him there. I'm sure my man Bach put him there, as well as others that were in that video. It's a lot of little jewels that if you push with wine, you're going to see a lot of things inside there that I have never seen ever before in a hip-hop music video. Never. Right.
And that's why I wanted to hit on that. With that said, we're going to go into one of the joints, which is kind of you talking about hustling. And even though there's more mixtape, so I hope they don't mute it, but we're going to still let the people hear it right now so they can't touch us. So I'm going to let that play, and we're going to listen to this joint and let the people hear. We with Stiggz Stigalo right here, rappers and artists you never heard of. We're going to listen to this track right now. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this popping. Let me just put that. And we bring this type of new energy to the hip-hop world. I know we can get a lot of artists y'all know, but we bringing y'all Stiggz Stigalo. Let's listen to this, Where I'm From. Stiggz Rough. This is joint. Check this out.
It's my joint too.
I can do my hustle from anywhere. Like where I need to go, I bet I get it there. When the brain see the snow, I send it in the air. Yeah, I can do my hustle from anywhere. I can do my hustle from anywhere. Like how much work we got, I make it disappear. I can move it over there while sitting in his chair. Yeah, I can do my hustle from anywhere. Who is you? Who is she? What you want? What you need? I got those. I got these. What's your price? Let me see. 2 for 5. Over 3. You want 2? Here go 3. Can you move it? What's your speed? Can I get it? Yes, indeed. Where we at? Deliveries, money back. Guarantee. What we talking? Is it cheese? Cut the check. Count the cheese. In and out. Overseas. Shipping free. No shipping fees. Do you want it? Here you go. Now come again. Thank you, please. Please call my trapping jack. We don't check upon these. You know the ghetto. Red hot. Scotch bonnet. Pepper seed. Hit you back. I'm on the way. Be looking out. I'm in the V. I gotta go. I gotta meet. I'm getting dope. Some place to be.
Ah, nice, nice. I don't know what's going on, why that stopped, but it stopped. But let me bring it to the middle. Hold on.
Okay.
I don't know why that stopped. But technology, like Stiggz Stigalo said, is nothing. You know what I mean? Word. I'm gonna let it rip again.
It's flow, it's metaphors. You have to listen. You have to really listen to the bars. I got something I call medicine with the applesauce. Medicine with the applesauce. It looks sweet, but it ain't nothing but pure medicine in there. Don't get confused. Please don't get it confused.
Right, no doubt. We're going, and with that said, y'all, remember, listen, you can hear it coming through, right?
Yeah, if you could turn it up, turn it up.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that value. I like my music loud, like earphones.
I could do my hustle from anywhere. Like how much what we got, make it disappear. I could move it over there while sitting in his chair. Yeah, I could do my hustle from anywhere. Who is you? Who is she? What you want? What you need? I got those. I got these. What's your price? Let me see. 2 for 5. Over 3. You want 2? Here go 3. Can you move it? What's your speed? Can I get it? Yes, indeed. Where we at? Deliveries, money back. Guarantee. What we talking? Is it G's? Cut the check. Count the cheese. In and out. Overseas. Shipping free. No shipping fees. Do you want it? Here you go. Now come again. Thank you, please. Please call my trapping jack. We don't check upon these. You know the ghetto. Red hot. Scotch bonnet. Pepper seed. Hit you back. I'm on the way. Be looking out. I'm in the V. I gotta go. I gotta meet. I'm getting dope. Some place to be.
Man, what's going on? I don't know why this is stopping.
I don't know what stopped. I don't know why it stopped. The question is, how can we make it happen? Easily skip the plate, no DVD, control game, no referees, your local news, DNC, ABC to NBC. My worldview is GED, PhD from HBC. See, I could do my hustle from anywhere. Like where I need to go, I bet I get it there. Whether rain, see the snow, I send it in the air. Yeah, I could do my hustle from anywhere. I could do my hustle from anywhere. Like how much what we got, I'll make it disappear. I could move it over there while sitting in this chair. Yeah, I could do my hustle from anywhere. I got a Houston plug. Okay, all right. I ain't gonna go
okay. So, what made you decide to come up with such a rap? Because when I listen to it, I don't, automatically people want to think hustle means drugs and street. Moving some street type of thing. You're not talking about that.
No.
You're not talking about that. What made you decide to kind of use that metaphor?
Great question. The reason I did is exactly what I was saying a second ago. Medicine with the applesauce.
Explain that again.
Meaning like, okay, so people want to hear. I'm familiar with the streets. We all hustle. I'm no exception. I'm nobody. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I didn't take part in any type of street activity or anything like that. I'm not saying I'm proud of it. I'm just saying that's what I did. So I understand a lot of times what people want to hear. So I'm definitely cut from that fabric of that cloth, right? And I like to reach out to those who don't have. During that time where I was around the industries or anything, I get to see. It's like digging to the bottom of the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? The part with all the sugar and the sweetness.
Yes, sir.
If you don't really reach that spoon to the bottom, it's not going. The sweetness ain't gonna disperse properly. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the sweetness that I have in the Kool-Aid is the medicine, the jewels, the HBC from black colleges. Thinking of different ways to hustle. And giving that making so that the hustle subject has substance to it.
Right.
So that there's substance inside the hustle subject. So you might hear, you might be like, send it overseas or hustling this or 2 for 5, 1 for 3.
Right.
At no point inside the rhyme did I mention any drug whatsoever. You can
not at all.
That thing 1,000 times. You will never hear me mention any drugs, anything in particular to say I was doing in that rap. You're gonna hear me hustling education. You're gonna hear me hustling mind state. And in the beginning of the track, I'm not sure if they heard it. I mentioned about no one's calling time out to put you in the game.
Right.
No one is calling time out to put you in the game.
Right.
There's nobody going to give you a shot. They're not going to say, pass you the ball. You got to take your shot. You have to take your opportunity. You have to seize opportunity and make a way. No matter what it happens, you have to make a way for yourself. Period.
Right.
They're not going to do it. Right? So by you doing it yourself is success. Right? You take your hustle with you anywhere you go. You are your best hustle. You are the best representative of yourself.
Right.
It's you.
Right.
If anybody watching this, it's you.
It is.
Deep inside, it's you. You already got it. You've done it. You're doing it. Like us right now, we are doing it. We are living the experience.
Right.
Right? And we'll take this and go viral with it. Let's push it out to the world. However, it's about inspiring, and you are the antidote. You are the hustle. You.
Right. Right.
Now, my purpose with it.
Right.
Right. So that's my medicine with the applesauce. It's hustle, but it's purpose. The medicine is purpose within inside it. As the God Rakim said, I take this more serious than just a poem. And I totally do.
Right.
Way
With that,
more serious than just a poem.
Right. Even going into that. Now, the hustle that you have for that particular song, you're from Rochester, New York. Right. What does that what gave you a hustle and give us I want to ask you, how was it growing up in Rochester, New York? When did you first hear hip hop? Let's start there. When did you first recognize hip hop? Who did you hear?
Ooh. Phenomenal question. And I love telling this story. And I'm about to give you the most fullest of the full that I can of my experience of hip hop. When I was introduced, what I heard the first time. The first hip hop song that I ever heard was Planet Rock by African Bambaataa. First thing I heard. I remember as a child running down the street and hearing it, right? I remember running to the corner of my mom's street and Thurston, and they're just playing by whoever's older playing it. And the interesting thing is, when I did hear this record, when I got to the corner and looked to my right, there was a house being busted by the police during this same time.
Wow.
I literally remember vividly the same time I heard that around the corner, great neighborhood. However, right around the corner, it was a house getting knocked by the police. And those are my first memory of hearing a hip hop record, right, that I fell in love with. I felt that cosmic energy. I felt the funk inside Planet Rock. It moved me. I fell in love instantly. I was immediately tuned in to the one. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Let's go get Sir Nose. It was talking to me. Let's go get it. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's incredible. And because usually, we all hear rappers delight first, and which is, they were squad, so of course, but that's a key record, hearing that at that time. And now in Rochester, you said it was a nice neighborhood. Being in Rochester, after you heard that, did you go write your first rhyme? Did you what happened after that? Was it did you go, yo, I can write? How did you maneuver after that? Being in
Okay, so boom, check it out. After that, I was totally in love with hip hop. I didn't know what that sound is I heard. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know who the group was.
Wow.
I was too young to even identify it as hip hop. I wasn't aware of what I was hearing at the time. I just loved it, the way that the percussion and the music, the way it was. So I'll fast forward to my next phase of hip hop is another group that impacted my life was Run DMC.
And why? What was that? Why?
I just wanted a Run DMC record so bad. I didn't know what I was buying. I just wanted a Run DMC record. So for my birthday, my sister took me downtown, and she bought me a Run DMC record for my birthday. Right.
And
I just picked the Run DMC record. Like I said, I'd say I want this song from Run DMC. I
Oh,
just went
wow.
there and said, I want a Run DMC record. They were on Profile at the time,
Right.
and it was Sucker MCs was
Woo!
the single,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So Sucker MCs was on one side, and it had the instrumental on the other side, and I think they might have had hard time
Right.
With it on a single.
Right.
And when I say I
Right.
listened to this record a gazillion times,
Wow.
over and
Wow.
over and over again. The
Right.
beats were hard. The rhymes were hard.
Right. Right.
The voices were powerful.
Right.
Had impact.
Right.
It did, and that grew the same thing, that the seeds that were planted by Bambaataa and
Right.
and Planet Rock were watered by Run DMC.
Right.
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 More
Of course.
hardcore hip hop, bars,
Right.
lyrics, and that was the first record that I personally purchased myself with my
Right.
own birthday money.
Right.
So it had a tremendous psychological effect on the way I view hip hop then, as well as to this day.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that's
I have those
incredible.
lyrics embedded in my head.
Right.
J-A-Y, all the letters of his name.
Mhm.
Just beats and rhymes, which was so
Right.
organic to hip hop itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
that was my next stage, and that's when I started writing rhymes.
Wow.
I was in
Wow.
elementary school.
Wow. Do you
Right?
remember your first rhymes and like how it went? Do you remember all that?
I don't remember how it went. I can say this though. I was on punishment.
Okay.
Okay?
Right. Right.
I remember being on punishment. I'm talking about that real punishment. I'm talking about when you can't leave the room type punishment.
Can't leave the
You know what I
room.
mean? Not
Yes,
the
sir.
house. You got to stay in your room. All right.
Right. Right.
So, I had my records though, and I
Right.
remember writing some rap about a dog, a cat, a frog. It was like very, very extremely basic, right?
Right,
However,
right.
I do remember going to school and saying to my friends, and they was like, okay, it's cool, right? And I
Right.
met a couple other guys in school that rap too, right?
Right.
So it started to form, okay, like me coming into a identity of an MC,
Right.
right?
Right.
And
Right.
by Run DMC having a stronghold in my foundation, I just took to it. I started wanting to do talent shows.
Wow.
But I wanted to do talent shows rapping Run DMC's Proud to Be Black for Black
Right,
History
right.
Month in elementary school. I remember going
Wow.
to the music teacher,
Right.
and with my friend, like, listen, I want to perform in a talent show, and this is what I want to do.
Mhm.
Proud to be Black.
Wow.
It didn't manifest. However, that was where my mind was at the time, and being in elementary school of wanting to perform, following this hardcore hip hop
Right.
that's been birthed out of the Bronx.
Right.
And at this point, I still didn't realize that this would be something that I would do for the rest of my life.
Wow. Wow. Now, and when I was able to, kind of dig into some things and talking to you prior to this interview, you talked about how your grandmother too was a crucial part of your performance and stuff with the church. Now, even though you said you don't go to church and nothing like that, but
Right.
we know a lot of our grandmothers were connected, or whether it was in any type of religion. But that's the key. I mean, yeah, right. And you'll explain that too once we get it in. But
Yeah.
what was it about your grandmother that gave you that push? How did she give you that push?
Wow. First, giving great honor, rest in power to the late, great Josephine Gomes, my grandmother. I was her special child. She always called me her doctor. She always said I would preach.
Doctor.
She
Right.
always called me her doctor because I took care of her. She always said I would preach. She
Right.
used to have me, because my grandmother couldn't read. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Right.
didn't realize that at the time, but what she did used to do, she'd sit me on her lap, put some coffee in a saucer, and have me read the Bible to her. Right?
You
So I'd be
kidding?
sitting
Wow.
I'll be sitting there in her lap, and I'll be reading the Bible to her, like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That what she put in front of me, even I couldn't understand it. And we sip coffee. So
Wow, that's interesting. Go ahead.
so she I was always tied up under her.
Mhm.
However, before that stage, the first person to ever hit, the first person, I gotta say it clear, I don't want my hand over my mouth. The first person to ever hand me a microphone was my grandmother, Josephine Gomes. She handed me the microphone. Period.
How did that happen? How did that happen? How did that happen?
It was around, I'm gonna say it had to be around like Easter or something. Like, you know, when you come downstairs, it was coming, I came downstairs, man. We got pictures of this too, somewhere in the photo album.
That sounds like an album cover.
Right. Coming downstairs to my mom's house, my grandmother's there. And she had me and my brother singing, "I'm going to see the King" for church. Right? You know how they make the children perform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course. Exactly.
So grandma hand me the microphone and hey, y'all sing. Right. And we just doing our two-step, you know what I mean? Right. Things like that. And I remember making her happy with that. I remember her smiling. I also remember having to learn pieces, they called them Easter pieces, to go to church. And my mother and my sister and family would have us stand on a chair in the kitchen and recite them and teach me how to articulate and speak clear, to make sure when you do say your time that you're expressive and not fumbling over your words and memorize it.
Wow.
I didn't realize at that time I would be learning. I'm really learning the formula for rhyming and singing, and these are foundational things that I learned outside of hip hop. However, I would later on apply to hip hop and my whole being of music. So that's where I really got that first foundational. I got my microphone from my grandmother to perform, and I remember also saying those pieces at church. The feeling I got in front of the crowd. Right? Because they're gonna cheer for the children, right?
Of course.
Especially when
always.
Yeah, they're gonna cheer for the children. So when you when you do it well, when you do it a little better,
of course, it still has to be good.
Children, they extra cheer you on. So I remember that feeling, and I love that feeling at the time. I really sincerely did and I still do, and I appreciate that time in my life because I could see how it honed my skills to what I do now. So
No
big
doubt.
ups to the late great Josephine Gomes, my grandma, man. I love her so much. She's in my prayers all the time. Really sincerely. You know what I mean?
And that's important. That's very important. Real quick, I'm gonna say this for the people that's just joining, rappers and artists you never heard of. We with my man Stiggz Stigalo. You know what I mean? I mean, so we already hit the ground running. He came in ready, and we going over some stuff. So with that said, now your grandma, she got you ready. She got you ready for the world, right?
Got me ready
with hip hop, right. We know it's deep. What now? Being in Rochester again. How were you able to start kind of using, once your grandma honed in that talent and now you know, hey, I'm ready. How did you start getting into the hip hop? Was it around the way? Was it around?
Okay, the next stage of my hip hop growth, right? So my grandmother gave me my microphone. I'm learning how to speak in front of crowds, and I'm not afraid to speak in front of people. Right. However, I still need to be educated in the field of hip hop. I had to learn the hip hop, and that part of my stage of hip hop goes to my older cousins. I have older cousins: Elaine Washington, Brian Washington, rest in power, Chris Washington, Gary and Terry Washington. Right. Every weekend I used to spend at my cousin's house. Every weekend over on Harvest and 6th Street. And what we used to do, see, my cousins had a breaking crew called ICC. That was Inner City Crew. They were well known all over the city, and they were my first hip hop superheroes in real life. Because when they would turn on the beats, they get to doing their moves and all that, windmill to headspin. I was amazed. I was amazed at watching them perform. As far as music goes, my cousin Elaine is older than us, and we used to spend the night at their house. They would do something called make tapes. So all night on Friday and Saturday, she'd take a recorder and we'd sit with her and she'd push record all night on the dope songs. I was hearing all of the battles, all of the Roxanne Shantays, all of the old school stuff
Right.
My older cousin was taping at night, and she's a lady. So if anybody is aware, young ladies are always up on the newest of hip hop, right?
They real keen with that. Yep, very
real
keen.
So
right.
she is
right.
really who I extra sat up under to
It's
get
always
the
a
intricacies.
woman.
It's
right.
always the woman, okay?
Right.
She's who I sat up under and got a lot of the intricacies and heard a lot of music early. I'm talking about all night long.
Right.
All night. And the next day, we would go to the street over 6th Street, and everybody would be playing the tape from the day before.
Right.
And break dancing and running around and on the streets all night. So that's where I got the foundation of sound. And my older cousin Brian Rap B.
Right.
Jazzy B was his name. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Jazzy B. He's the first one that I knew that rap. And and he taught me how to rhyme. I watched him rhyme.
Oh, that's interesting. Right.
And he taught me how to rhyme. I used to see him rhyme, and I used to think, I mean, he was in a breaking crew. He rapped. You know what I mean? That was one of my hip hop heroes, my older cousin. And all of them that were a part of this phenomenal breakdancing crew. I used to listen to the stories of the battles they had at a place called USA Skating Rink. They go to the skate rink. And I was just
in Rochester. This in Rochester.
Here in Rochester, right?
Right. What section? Rink. What section was that? What section?
It was Far East Side.
Okay.
Yep. They used to go to there was one in Red Wing, and it's Red Wing Plaza, and there was another USA Skate out in the burbs. But I was too little to go. I was too young to go.
Right.
So what I would do after they had their battles, I would listen to the stories of what happened at the battle. And this was my first vision of Beat Street. Okay.
Wow. Right.
What I envisioned everything that they were doing like Beat Street. You know what I'm saying? So I'd be a youngin' sitting there in awe, you know what I mean, of hearing these stories of how they're battling another crew and dancing, who could choose and who could win. So these are the foundations of my hip hop, of my whole view of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Why was you listening so keen like that? What was the reason you wanted to hear that?
Oh man, I'm not sure. It was just in me. I just loved it. I could visualize it. And still to this day, I'm the person that I'll go watch interviews. I'll go watch conversations of any artist, favorite artist, whether it's a documentary, behind the scene things. I'm a big fan of behind the scenes and seeing how artists are in their regular life. Right. Who artists were regularly. Who are you on your everyday life outside of this microphone? You know what I mean? If you said a little word on the end of a record and they ain't muted out, I was the person listening to it in the background like, yo, he said what's the name on the end of the record? You know what I mean?
Right. That's important. That's very important. The fact that you were so keened in on certain things and aspect, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people showing love with that one because that is very important to hip hop is paying attention. And the fact that you did it so young, that to me, that's why I'm like, what made you do that? That's incredible like that. You know what I mean? So that's important. For everybody that's coming in right now, this is rappers and artists you haven't heard of. We with Stiggz Stigalo. We're deep into the conversation, and we're giving it up, you know, on that tip. So peace to anybody that just came in. But we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue. They showing love. So let me wheel it in a little bit. We talked about your love when you first heard of Africa Bambaataa and you heard Planet Rock and you heard that. Now, what we talked the other day, and I want you to talk about what was some of your favorite artists that you that were inspiring you, whether it's today or then. You're saying Africa Bambaataa, Run DMC. What were some of the other ones that you really was like, yo?
Oh
like
man.
These dudes,
the God MC Rakim.
Right.
You know
what I mean? Why did you like him so much?
He's the first one that I saw bring universal knowledge to the microphone. with balance.
Right.
Right. So
Right.
like, so he had a great way of balancing the streets with hip hop and knowledge.
Right.
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 It still do
What
not
you?
move.
Right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say, did you? I didn't want to stop your train of thought. You said nothing moves, but go ahead.
Still do not move but the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I used to be, but now I learn to earn because I'm righteous. I used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. I used to roll up, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As well as dropping knowledge. So he and his lyrical ability, his metaphors. I take 7 MCs, put them in a line, and there's 7 more brothers who think they can rhyme, but it'll take 7 more before I go for mine. That is 21 MCs, 8 of at the same. Nobody's eating up 21 MCs at one time like that.
Right. Right.
His jewels, his knowledge of bringing knowledge itself, the 5% nation of gods and earth to the microphone, it was just unparalleled. It sounded like no other. His flow, his cadence, it was just a master. He's the first master of ceremony, right? So we had others. We had the Run DMC, we had the Bombadas, we had a lot of people that contributed. However, when Rakim came, it changed. You saw hip hop go through another growth spurt of impact and purpose, of purpose. And as I was saying before, I take this more serious than just a poem. This was not no time to just be getting on the microphone joking and shucking and jiving and tap dancing. He showed it was a total difference than just having a good time and having something to say on the microphone. So Rakim was one of my favorites. Another, few of my favorite MCs that I personally love is Black Thought. I love me some Black Thought. He's my favorite MC for a while. Another one of my super favorites is Wise Intelligent from Pro Righteous Teaching. I love Wise Intelligent. And if you listen to these artists that I'm naming, their lyrical ability is unmatched. Their flow is unmatched. Their purpose and the knowledge that they drop on the mic it is phenomenal. You know what I mean? So those are my early favorites. And I grew also to like other people like the Nas's, the Jay-Z's, and so on and so forth, as my appreciation for music grew for different artists and for what they all bring to the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
now, what that said, when you talk about artists like Wise Intelligent, and you talk about artists like Nas or let's get back to Rakim, did you know what Rakim was talking about as far as 5% at that time? Was you aware of that?
I'm gonna say he's the first one that I was fully introduced to it with.
Wow.
Right? So I didn't have knowledge itself at that time.
Okay.
However, I was inspired to him, like that's something I got to have.
Wow.
Watching Rakim made some like, hold on, wait a minute, this brother's he's sharp. Wait a minute, I got to get in. What is this knowledge of self that he's introducing? What's this flag? What's the There's something with this. I was drawn to it. That was serving. He was serving his purpose. He was doing the knowledge. He was doing the one. He was reaching back by his actions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was drawn to it. I was like, oh, this is him, that guy.
Right.
So at the time, no, I wasn't. It wasn't until later on that I received my student enrollment, my 120. And I actually got it. This is what's so interesting, right? What's so dope about Rakim. Shout out to Big Cal. That's my best friend's father. My best friend passed last year. He was killed during the senseless street violence. However, his dad is the one who gave me my student enrollment when I was young. His brother, Natural, was one of Rakim's right-hand man. So in high school, or when I was younger, got older, we rolled out I caught the bus out to Wine Dance to go find Rakim. You know with his uncle for the weekend. And I just wanted to find Rakim. Okay, well, went out to Wine Dance. We hung in Wine Dance Park. And we stayed in Queens though, but we was back and forth between the island and Queens. And the only disappointment, I didn't get to catch Ra because we wasn't old enough to get into the spots where Ra was at. You know But we was able to say like his uncle be like, yeah, man, I just saw Ra there last night, and we be sitting there like, oh man, damn, we can't get in. So one of my missions was to really find the time to build with the God and show him my appreciation what he taught me at that time. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Now this is important because I was about to go into something else, but before I get to that, I'm gonna ask you this. You. When I started looking at your stuff and I saw one of the joints on YouTube, the fact that you're still a 5% nation. I guess once you in, you in. You had a song called Nine.
Mhm.
What is the importance of Nine? Because you broke that song down. I want to put it in. I want to put the link for people to check out in the thing. But while I'm searching that, what was the importance of really utilizing the number 9? Why did
Okay,
you? First of all, that's the title of the song. Am I correct?
totally the title of the song.
Right, right. And
Totally.
normally I wouldn't go into the songs yet because I want to find out more. But because you brought up the knowledge, I just I got a feeling that connects in some type of way. And what's the importance of that
Okay,
of that
great.
particular song?
Great. So the number 9, the concept of 9 started with me and my man. We were talking about doing a project based off the 9 areas of human activity, or by Dr. Francis Quest Wilson. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Mm.
we were listing those 9 areas, and
Right.
when we started getting into it, I got deeper and I studied, and 9 is, we are aware of you dealing with the nation of born, but that's also the number of completion.
Mm-hmm.
I also learned that the number 9 is not a number, it's a shape, which also is a frequency. You know
Right.
what I mean? So if you
Right.
look, it's really the spiral.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Depending on if you're looking up or down, which if you're looking down, it may be a 6 or a 9. If you're looking up, it may depending on which way it's going. So
Right.
I also learned about its they were giving credit to Fibonacci, but we don't, we go a lot further than him, you know what I mean?
Right. That's why your
They was
song is important. But go ahead.
right. They was giving all kind of other credit, but that's the
Like
number of,
always.
right, as always,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So there was so many things that that 9 does and has that within it that we don't realize is in our everyday life. That's
Right.
why I started the bar up with fine. If we gonna grind, let's grind. I'm 9/10, 9 dimes. I'm 10 cent 9 times. If 10 cent times 9 is 90% in dimes, then I'm fighting against the 10% controlling your mind. Yeah, I'm fighting against the 9 to 5, controlling your time. Fighting crime, fighting the Popo 9, controlling out. You know what I mean? I go check the joint.
That and that's why I'm about to put that into. So good. So to my viewers right now, what I'm talking about is Stiggz Stigalo. Anybody that just joined, again, we're here rappers and artists you never heard of, and this is Stiggz Stigalo right here. And what he's describing to y'all right now is I in my research as an interviewer, I came across one of his songs. I don't think we talked about it. It's called 9, and that's what he was describing in his lyric. Now I'm gonna put the link in I'm gonna put it in so people can go to it. So I'm thinking, but with that now. Again, I gotta keep coming back to the knowledge with you because, brother, you be dropping so much stuff. You gotta think. Get back to the block. Is that the right title?
Buying back the block.
Buying back the block.
Buying back the block.
Why do you want to buy back the block? What's the reason why? Why? Tell me why.
Okay, so boom. The first block that we buy is not out on the corner. The first block that you buy is your brain.
Woo!
Your brain, your mind.
Right.
I want you to, what you pay attention to, you are buying that experience. That's what you're purchasing with your time. They say time is money.
Yes, sir.
What you pay attention to is what you are buying.
Right.
So the foundation of buy back the block is buying your mind back, buying that blockhead of yours.
Right.
You know what I mean? Cut them corners off that blockhead and get it round.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
That's the first foundation to buy your blockchain, your block. Okay.
Right.
Then we turn that to what your corners, what do we own? If you don't own your brain, that's the reason why you don't own anything on these corners. When I go to a corner or any of these buildings. There's none of us that own any of them.
Right.
Not enough to make a significant. Now, we got some exceptions to the rule. However,
Right.
as a whole, we do not own these places that we live
Right.
in. And what,
Right.
what inspired that track so much is I went to a house auction. I went to a house auction and I probably had about $10,000. And I was so happy to go to this house auction. I didn't care what I buy. I didn't care if I would have got a shack with a door and nothing else. Just give me a door and framework. I was
Right.
like, okay, I got $10,000.
Right.
I could leave with something.
Right.
And as I was there and I sat and I watched, there was a whole room full of black folk.
Right.
About 10 white people in there. Okay.
Right.
And I sat there and watched all of our people raise their hand with all kind of money to bid on stuff, and they couldn't buy anything.
What?
Because out of these few 10 white folks, they had such an enormous budget to work with.
Wow.
That they were overpaying for property that wasn't worth it. Right?
Wow.
So they were paying 3 to 5 times a piece of property just to outbid you.
Right.
And what said, and they left out there with probably 70 pieces of property or more,
right.
50 to 70 pieces
right.
of property,
right?
Right. And the complaint that everybody had in there, meaning the melanated people, was like, whoa, we can't get in at all to buy anything, right? Especially enough to be able to have an impact, right? So if you buy what you wanted to buy a couple things, I was satisfied with anything. Like I didn't care. I was looking at stuff empty lots. You know what I'm saying? That's why I set it up. That's why it went from looking for houses to me just starting to look on the sheet and finding the empty lot. I'm like, well, I ain't gonna be able to afford it. Maybe I could buy an empty lot. So the block, that's why I say, don't you see these vacant houses and you see these empty lots?
Right.
So we shutting down their businesses and buying back the block. Because for us to buy back the block, we have to combine our dollar. Now, if we would have all been in there combining our dollar to buy up the neighborhood, then those 10 white folks who came in with that big budget would have had a problem on their hands. It wouldn't have been the same outcome. We, the community, would have left with something. However, because we didn't unify our dollar together, right, to buy back the block, right, we didn't leave with anything. So I said, okay, I got to make a song called Buying Back the Block. Due to my experience, to get people inspired to combine your dollar, to boycott. Also, a great part of that Buying Back the Block song is the boycott. Shut down their businesses and invest in ourselves. I don't care if you are selling dinners. I don't care what pace of investment, because it's your mind. Start investing in your own, buy your neighborhood, buy your block, buy back your mind, give back to the community, give back to the children, so we start moving forward. So that was that experience I had at the house auction is what inspired the Buy Back the Block concept song, and also the lyrics that were within the song.
That, I mean, like I said, I was looking through that, and it was one of powerful. Actually, all your songs, 9, Buy Back the Block, all those were very powerful songs, and a lot of inspiration in those cuts. So let me wind back. Because you went the fact that you're going in, I have to attack the questions that I had, and I didn't want to wait. I figured since you had gone in, let me go in and ask you that. Now you buying back the block. You got 9. You got this. Now let me go back. What was your first time that you decided, all right, I gotta do my own thing? Did you go through the whole looking for a record deal first, or did you go right in trying to independently do your thing? What did you do first when you first realized I'm a rhyme, I'm gonna be an MC, or whatever part of hip hop you decided? When was that first song made, or you decided, hey, I gotta get in this game?
Okay, so boom, right? All right, so boom, there. Let's scale back for a second, because there's an extremely important part of my hip hop growth. Extremely important part. So
let's go into it.
After me being inspired by my older cousin, when I went to high school, I was involved with. I had a part of a rap crew. My rap crew was called Timberland Foundation. We were the Wu-Tang before the Wu-Tang. There was no
Right.
Wu-Tang when my crew came out. And these
Timberland.
brothers are
Yeah.
the most talented MCs that I have came across, right?
Right.
So I went from
Right.
having favorites in the industry to favorite MCs that were around me.
Right.
In my mix, that iron sharpens iron, how the steel sharpens steel.
Right.
These MCs
Woo.
around me were so great at their craft,
Right.
and we combined and we fed off each other. So it was a dojo, it was a kung fu,
Right.
karate thing. You had different styles, different people had different masteries, and we were like the righteous crew, I would say, of the rock. We battled everybody. It was us against the world. We did shows. We did talent shows. We walked in the street. We performed for everybody. We had singers, rappers, dancers,
right,
DJs, graffiti. It was so many pieces to the foundation of my crew. Matter of fact, I probably still have a tape cover that my friend drew for me called Planet Rock. The first tape that I planned on making, the cover was going to be named, or the album was going to be named Planet Rock.
Wow.
And that was done by my band Provide, who's a producer, and he was a part of our crew as well.
Right.
So those guys that were in my crew are the first ones that I really had an extra affinity for, that helped those experiences during that time, traveling and doing shows, help build my character as far as skill set and honing it in. Obviously, we all wanted to get a record deal of some sort, right? But we
did you go through that?
We were so entrenched in the love for it that we weren't doing it to get a record deal.
Of course. Of course, right.
We were just so much into it. We didn't, to tell the truth, that's not even something that we fully thought about. Like, of course.
Wow, that's good. Right.
Because we have to understand that at that time in hip hop, we were lied to.
Right.
All of hip hop was lied to about this. You're gonna get discovered.
Right. So you wasn't doing it at that time. Right.
To us all.
Right.
Okay.
And y'all wasn't going for that, you know. So now you with your crew and you're making these tapes and the stuff. Did you get it to the people, and how was you getting it? How did they gravitate to you once you started getting your voice heard? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, what made it dope is there's a local independent radio station here. There's a brother by the name of Chris G, a brother by the name of Evie Ev, a brother named Rhythm X, right? And JP.
These are pioneers of Rochester.
These are heavy hip hop pioneers of Rochester radio, right? So it was called something that's heavy here is called the Chris G Show. He's a legend, right?
Right.
What made him dope in his show and the people that I named is they were the first ones to play independent hip hop here. Right?
Wow.
They had no problem playing your independent music. They had no problem letting you come up to the radio station.
Wow.
They were like if you ever saw the Warriors,
right.
There was a lady who would say, "Hey, boppers, we just went to." They remind me of that because whatever was going on in the hip hop community, we tuned in to their station to get the updates of what was going on.
Wow.
So if we made a music or made a song, we put it up there. If we were rapping on the phone or the radio, we went up there. No matter what, they were like the outlet.
Right. That's who you had to get to. Right.
That's who played all of the underground hip hop. Those are where you got your music out to. So
what year is that? Around what time? Do you remember?
It definitely was the 90s.
Okay, right.
Definitely the 90s.
Right.
They got pushed off the air and came back. It was different things that was going on. However, they had a strong hold. They had a strong hold on the underground and real hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this is what I'm gonna say about the rock. Right? What makes the rock special? Rochester.
That's what I went.
What makes it special with hip hop? First of all, the energy up here is different. Our river flows
Why?
north
Why?
like the Nile River,
Right.
right?
Why?
We are in tune with the Nile up this way. The Genesee River flows north. It's a different type of energy up here,
Right.
right?
Right.
We are not on the main road. We're veered off. So if you're coming from New York, you go from Syracuse to Buffalo, there's a main line that connects the two.
Right.
We're off to the side a little bit, right?
Wow.
So we're like that stream of pool of water, right? That didn't get tainted as much as some of others. Right?
Wow. Wow. Right.
So when that stream of hip hop pool rolled into Rochester, New York, we kind of kept it. We kept it preserved.
Right.
We kept it. We didn't like a lot of bull into our hip hop. We didn't want no additives for preservatives. We wanted things very organic. That's why I have the sound that I have, and the MCs that I'm around have the sound that a bunch of us up here in upstate New York, even from the Griseldas to the 38 Specials to so on, a bunch of these Lil Ito, a bunch of the other artists that are up this way. There's a honed in sound that we had, that we preserved from the old New York. All right.
Wow. So you kept that. Right. So you feel like you kept that style, which, because when I listen to a lot of your songs, I still feel that same hardcore, rough, rugged, raw from the gut, but you're precise, and it's very precise. You know what I mean? It's like you have a mission, and that's what I hear. I hear that grind. So that's where that come from. What are some of the other groups that you actually did things with? As far as you named your breakdancing crew, you named some things. Who are some of the people you working with like right now, and what's the reason for those collaborations? We got frozen, but we're gonna get unfrozen. He's gonna come back in, and I'm gonna see what's up. So we frozen in time for a second, but that doesn't matter. To all the people, so until I get him back, we're gonna I'm gonna get into one of these songs. Yo, you back in? You back in? There we go. We back in. So yeah, it was a little frozen, but it's good. We back in. I'm gonna get into one of these other songs. I hope it doesn't stop, but at least we're gonna hear a little bit of it. And that's the Dynasty. And I'm gonna start that. For some reason it stops. I don't know why it stops. But for the people that's looking right now, once again, this is rappers and artists you never heard of. We was Stiggz Stigalo getting deep. You know what I'm saying? We're getting deep. From Rochester, New York. This brother is a dope MC. He's very conscious with his rhymes and very aggressive and hardcore underground that's well needed to this day. People say, what happened to the underground conscious hip hop? Nothing is right here. Stiggz Stigalo is right here. Let's listen to this right here, Dynasty. Now, I don't have my my podcast connect, so I'm just playing it through my monitor. So let's listen, y'all. Let's check this out.
Let the beat drop. This is Orisa Street Hop. We got a key shot, but every door we see lock. Flies a peacock, we yet to see the treetop. Myself a thinker, clean the top of a teapot. To cradle theory, hear me? Shank anti-fiend out. Legs on the corner, Yashiki's on the clean block. This coffee beans hot, percolate, steam drop. See nicotine's got dopamine, fiend shot. The shower scenes hot, wet towels, clean socks. The gators on the floor, reptiles, green crops. We took blue and yellow, opened up a green spot. The mix blue and yellow, you showing us a green dot. Looking for cabbage inside Craig's kitchen cabinet like worm. Your wages frozen, that's an ice cream truck package. 10 toes, barefoot, cause I'm a soul singer. That trap ease, I'm not a voter or a pole swinger. $400 cash, double that in food stamps. $800 for groceries, no more food cramps. Rebel hood fantasies, a grape soda. Popping off-brand Coke like it's Fago Cola. Cause next to nothing, I would.
Yeah, y'all, you know what I'm saying? We're getting frozen up right now. Here we go, we back. That was Dynasty. When did you do that track? Can you hear me? You can hear me? I don't hear your voice. Does anybody hear us still? Just somebody tap in and tell me if you hear it. Somebody tell me if you hear it. Just tap in or whatever. We still live. This is rappers and artists you never heard of. You know, let me see. Can y'all hear me? If not, we gonna get it back. Y'all know how these lives are. Sometimes it's you know, I don't know. It could be the internet. Can y'all hear me? Okay, somebody, I don't know who threw that thumb up, that thumb saying they can hear me. But you can hear me. Throw me a few. Okay. All right. So Stiggz Stigalo is out. And was y'all able to hear the track Dynasty? Did you hear the track Dynasty? Just throw another thumbs up. Eric or Robin or anybody that throw it. Did y'all hear that? Okay, you heard it. Was it clear? Stiggz Stigalo. This is rappers and artists you haven't heard. Rappers and artists you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see if I can bring Stiggz back. Give me a second. But this is what we do. Stiggz Stigalo, an underground MC from Rochester, New York. He got deep, and conscious hip hop is still here. We are okay, word. Eric said there's fire. Peace, Eric. We got Robin up in here. Brom, my man. Who else is up in here? Bun Fest, what up, bruh? We got Mace in the Effect. You know what I mean? Y'all go check out his comic book. You know what I'm saying? We got Brom Cognito. You know what I'm saying? Muhammad. No doubt. DJ Smooth. He got something popping in North Philly on Sunday, so y'all go check that out. I'm going to see if I can bring Stiggz Stigalo back in the mix. If we can't, I'm going to try to bring in my man, Oba, you know what I'm saying? Let me see if I can bring him back in on that tip. But this is rappers and artists you haven't heard of, you never heard of, you know what I'm saying? And hold on, let me see if I can bring my man. I'm trying to bring him back in. Let me see. Hold up, y'all. Hold on. We here. You know, trying to see. I gotta add him again, but I can't seem to find the ad. But it's all right. We're gonna make it work. Again, this is rappers and artists you haven't heard of. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna bring him back. Trying to bring him back. I don't know why I can't bring him back. Here we go. Let me see. I'm hitting accept. It already accepted me. But again, this is rappers and artists you haven't heard of, and we was getting into my man Stiggz Stigalo, very deep artist. This platform is very important because what I do is I try to find underground hip hop artists that are really making a mark. Whether they making a mark with their lyrics and their rhymes, and I try to listen to when I interview these people, I take my time because I want to hear exactly what is it that they're saying. And majority of the people that I pick on this show, we really want to get in depth to find out what's going on because I know we can interview the top artists. Of course, I could do that. There's so many people doing that. They're getting into these artists, but I want to tap into who are the people we're not hearing. Who are the speakers of this hip hop game that we love so much? What are they talking about? What are they bringing? What other religions are they bringing to their understanding and their lyrics? In their hip hop. So that's what I want to get into. I'm trying to bring them back in, but it doesn't seem like I can bring them back in. I don't know what's going on. But that was Stiggz Stigalo. Please check out his links. Stiggz Stigalo. Hold on, I wanna tap into this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in the hashtag for him. I believe I'll just put his name. Because the brother is definitely dope. And hold on. All right, that's a hashtag. I'll put in the hashtag. I'm gonna try one more time to bring him back in. Yeah. So, but it's Stiggz Stigalo. If you see his tag on there, it's STIGGZSTIGALO. Okay, hold on. Let me see if this is him. Let me bring him back on. Yep. Hold up. Here we go. Trying to bring him back on. Here we go. I couldn't bring him back in. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why it's not happening. Let me remove him. And let me see if I can bring him back on. All right, here we go. I think I'm going to bring him back on. And then I'm going to get into some more questions. All right, thanks y'all for hanging with me and hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? He's coming on right now. And I'm going to get into some more questions real quick. Not real quick. Nothing is real quick on this show because we want to hear the importance of these MCs. And we want to continue to bring you some good content, you know what I'm saying, on that tip. So let me wait. I'm waiting for him to add. This is Haak Blast, and it's sponsored by this right here, Black Intellects. Black Intellects, these are the t-shirts that me and my woman by the name of Robin, we came up with because we tapping into your mind. And we selling these t-shirts. I'm selling them for 25, I believe. I'm still pushing these for 25. I got a large, medium. So this show is definitely sponsored by our shirts right here. So let's see. Okay, no answer from the guest. So I guess, you know, his joint. But anyway, rappers and artists you haven't heard of, you dig? And this is a major platform that I want to continue to operate because I love hip hop and I want hip hop to be a major thing for the rest of my life and anyone else's life on that tip. Yeah, Eric, no doubt, you know what I mean? Definitely grabbed this t-shirt. Eric, he already represented, you know what I mean? He grabbed the t-shirt. And this is how I can keep things moving with these platforms and stuff like that. It allows me to take time out of my day to do research on the artists that I get. Eric, you know how important that research is. We was under a major brother by the name of, he said he's sending me a request because I still got more questions I want to ask. So Stiggz is sending me another request so he can bring back in. But we was under the mentorship, friendship, energy of a major dude by the name of James G. Spady. And he was a major hip hop and Afrocentric historian, bringing us those key things. So when you work around a guy like that, you pick up a mass amount of knowledge from people like James Spady and other hip hop people. Bun Fest, he can contest to that as well. He know that's real as well. So I want to just explain to y'all that this is why rappers and artists you never heard of is important. So please tell your friends and tell your people that, yo, they really dropped some major artists and this is a major platform, and let them know to tune in because I'm going to bring y'all some cats, man. I'm telling you, I'm bringing you some real deep dudes and deep women and deep youngsters that I believe can bring you some true content. You know what I mean? Let me see if Stiggz can come in. Let me see if I can add him. I'm going to try to add him again. We're going to wait for the ad. Definitely. All right, here we go. He's back.
Yeah.
So, yo, they waited for you. They waited for you. Yeah, they waited for you. So, look, I'm going to go right in. So with that, your style, too, I know you said you explained your style as far as the ruggedness and hardcore. But another thing that I'm hearing in your style, you have a kind of almost a roots reggae sound as well. Does that play a big part in your music?
Definitely plays a huge part in my music. A huge part. I love culture tunes. I love dancehall. I love reggae. They always have their music is a very spiritual as well. You know what
Right.
I mean? They make a lot of revolutionary music. I love revolutionary dance hall music
Right.
or culture tunes.
Right.
I have my godfather is I have, aside from my spiritual godfather, my godfather from the neighborhood is Jamaican.
Okay.
All the family that I roll with, they are Jamaicans and
Right.
and heavily and DJs as well. So it's not just like they're in the culture. They also select and DJ and play and have a sound and all that. So I'm also heavily influenced by that genre of music as well. You know what I mean?
Right. Who are some of the artists that you're influenced by, dancehall or more roots reggae style? Who is?
Oh man, shoot! I love me some Sizzler. I love me some
Woo!
Buju Banton. I
Yes,
love me
sir.
some of course the Beanies and a bunch of those
Right.
from you name them. Like
Right.
a bunch of the greats. Because probably some of the people haven't heard of, whether it's a
Like who?
Gregory Isaac or Barris Hammond or
Right.
Bounty
Those some big
Killer.
names. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
where they
sir.
really get it in. So I spent a lot of time and after hours underground spots. We used to
Woo!
DJ. We used to throw some nice dance hall underground parties where my boy would DJ and I'm the guy that'll carry equipment too. I don't
Right.
mind carrying the records. I don't mind carrying turntable speakers to get in the joint. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm definitely heavily influenced by reggae music and dancehall and culture tunes, all in itself. Heavily influenced by it.
I hear that. I hear that a lot in your music. I was able to look at one of the performance that you sent. That I see the influence, even just the movement and your tonality of your voice. You pick up that and because I'm a big reggae and roots fan and stuff of that nature. So yeah, that's major, and that comes across in how you present your lyrics. Like that definitely comes across on that. Also you mentioned, like, in your rhymes. I'm gonna look at my notes real quick. You kind of talk. I'm going back kind of to the hustle, but not so much the hustle. But you talk about you like making the kids understand or making the youth understand. What is it you want them to understand? What are you trying to convey to them?
Oh my goodness, it's so much.
Mm.
It's layers. So one of my things to teach the babies early what did we learn late. Teach
What
the
you mean
babies
by that?
early what we learn late. We realized we've been lied to. We
Right.
were dang near adults before we realized how many lies we were told, right?
Right.
And
Right.
and so my thing is why we don't have to wait to put the babies and children on. Tell them
Right.
your truth. Tell them, put them on. Teach them early what we learn late, so that they can give back. The children, let them know that they're the reset button.
Right.
The children are the reset button. They are our ancestors' return. They are so important. If you're not doing it for the babies and the children, then what are you doing it for? What are you doing?
Yes, sir.
If you're not doing it for them, then what is you doing it for?
Right.
It's going to die off. It has no longevity.
Right.
It'll just be for your lifetime, no matter what it is that you're doing. Right. So
Right.
for me, I'm totally into teaching the babies early what we learn late, which is that you are special, you are divine, you are appreciated, you are loved, you have things to offer this world.
Right.
You yourself. You
Right.
are be your own superhero, young man.
Woo!
Be your own superhero, young
Right.
lady. Be your own.
Right.
You don't wait to be validated by anyone else. You don't
Yes,
have
sir.
to. You don't have
Right.
to wait to make $1 million. You don't have to wait for the education system for you to be out and be effective in your communities and your neighborhoods. Okay.
Right.
I'm interested. Like tell the babies that they can fly and they will.
Right.
Okay?
Right. Exactly.
Let them. So when I say so much, like pour as much as we can into them, because that's how we make God children.
Right.
That's how we make them. We create God children. We don't have to put limits on them. Let them be aware that you are limitless.
Right. Are they listening? Do you think they listening?
I believe that the children are like us. right?
Mm-hmm.
We get seeds sowed in us that we don't realize that they're seeds until they become watered and they bloom and turn into flowers, right? The
Right.
things that we learned as children that we utilize as adults that we can look back and be like, whoa, that was something that was given to me young and I
Right.
didn't realize it, right?
Right.
I'm a living example of things that were planted in me young that I didn't realize,
Right.
right?
Right.
Even with learning and knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
My dad is a comedic mason,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
My dad is heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a child, I ran around, me and my brother ran around their meetings. They had lodge meetings with all of these black men, right?
Wow.
All of
Right.
these black men around, there's symbolisms around, there's things around. At the time, I wasn't aware of who I was around
Right.
or what I was doing. We were the only children up in there, right?
Right.
But
Right.
I was getting into stuff. I'll go into
Right.
these doors and we had to, listen, we was touching stuff we had no business touching, okay?
Wow.
I'm
Right.
keeping it
Right.
1,000.
Right.
We had
Right.
no
Right.
business touching
Right.
and getting in, but we were young, and if it was a door open while they had their meeting, we was in there, okay? We was
Right.
grabbing stuff, playing
Right.
with what we thought were marbles, but they wasn't,
Right.
okay?
Those
Okay?
are sacred marbles. Yeah.
Right. I
Right.
thought they was marbles, but they was heavy, and we're like, dang, okay, these is kind of expensive marbles. But we
Right.
started playing with stuff, and we're in the midst of all kinds of things,
You
right?
setting off all kinds of energy. Right.
Oh my goodness, we were literally, especially being older, we was doing the most. We were
Right.
doing the most, right?
Right.
And it wasn't until later on in life, as I got older and started to look back and be like, oh, wait a minute, I saw this symbol on the book, or I saw this symbol on this piece of paper or magazine or whatever it may be.
Right.
What does that mean? Why are they saying these things about these people? What's going on?
Right.
So I wasn't aware at the time. The symbolisms were teaching me. It was
Right.
being downloaded to my brain, which
Right.
affected my curiosity, which had me asking questions. Right.
Right.
So
What was
no
some of
such
those
thing as-
symbolisms? What was
Yes.
some that you remembered distinctly?
The eye of us setting aside.
Okay.
Okay.
Explain.
Which I learned later on is the brain, the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. Right.
Right.
Literally. So if
Right.
you take the brain, put it in half, and you look at it, you'll see the everything is precise, right? But I remember seeing that as a child, right?
Right.
I
Wow.
remember seeing those things that I called marbles, right? And they
Right.
were all black with one white one. It wasn't like pool, right? So
Right.
at the time I remember saying, well, okay, it's only one. So then I got older and started thinking about the capstones on the pyramid.
Wow.
Right? And
Right.
started thinking about certain things like, okay, this is a little bit deep. I didn't
Right.
follow that path, right? However,
Right.
it caused me to ask questions, and I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it just says it might have been 20, 25 or more men that were around. All of them were my godfathers and
Wow.
godparents, right? All
Wow.
of them were adults, and I went to their houses and they talked. But there's only two men from that era alive, my dad and his best friend to this day,
Wow.
right? So I appreciate those times. I look back at those times in this day and like, wow, y'all were really, y'all were giving some stuff to a young man that I like them to really see where I'm at with it now.
Wow.
Like, I wish they could really see where I'm at. They might not agree,
Right.
but however,
Maybe not. Right.
Maybe not.
Right.
However,
Right.
I like them to at least see, like, listen, you guys were a very intricate part in my growing up, my development, the way I view the world, the way I look at organizing, the way I look at black men together.
Right.
That's my first time ever seeing a strong group of black men together, organizing, doing functions, doing things in the community, doing things at each other's houses. This is what I was raised up under as a child.
Right.
During the same hip hop era.
Right.
As I'm growing in hip hop.
Right. Right.
That's some of the
Right.
things that I remember.
Froze up. Right. 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 And because you just covered, I was about to go into and ask you who were your influences, but you ran into that major. What I also wanna ask you, let me see. Wow, man, we covering a lot, brother. let's get into did you freestyle at all? Did you ever freestyle?
Yes, I would give myself. I was a decent freestyler. I wasn't that dope at freestyling. I always been a master writer. I developed my freestyle through time, and more so as a dope when I started getting my freestyle better.
That's
The
interesting.
guys that
Right.
the guys that I was around, as far as my hip hop crew, there were a few master freestylers.
Mm.
Like they when they freestyle, it sounds like it's been written weeks ago. No
Right.
skips, no bumps, no bruises. All
Right.
makes sense. Everything
Right.
aligned. And
Right.
those were those guys, super talent in my crew. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? My
Right.
man AB, my man Hassan, and my man Clip, and it was a few of them that. Even if their styles were different, their freestyles was just so immaculate. You know what I mean? So my crew, one of my superpowers is writing. You know what I mean? That was my and performing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Taking my thought,
Right.
gathering my thought. And I was always compared to, like I said, my MCs was like the Rakims, you know what I'm saying, or the Nazes,
Right.
and so on and so forth. So I always have been a major writer.
Right. Wow. Wow. And that and like that's like, to me, the reason I ask questions about the freestyling, because people prefer, no, I prefer writing, or I prefer freestyle, or what you're good at. You know which one that you're good at. You know what I mean? So that's important. Now let's get into the present a little more. What does your hip hop look like now in the present? What is the state of mind? Well, I see the state of mind you're in, but how does your hip hop? What are you doing now in this present to continue to let the people know who you are as an MC?
Well, that's a dope question. I am definitely navigating my way through the newer technology as far as how to market, brand, and I'm thankful that there's still an opportunity for those who have this style of craft to be out there with the internet and ways to be able to market or sell shirts like you have, and really put things out there. So at this stage of my music, I have a couple projects. Like I got a couple projects to finish, right? And strategically and finding ways to do them. I'm looking for also features with other artists. I have a song that I haven't dropped yet with my favorite artist, Wise Intelligent, that I will definitely drop that sometime soon. And
I got history with him, so that's a good thing. Yeah, I got history.
I got to ask you about that, because like I said, that's my guy, right? And I like hearing behind the scenes.
Well, I'll tell you this real quick. I'll tell you this real quick. I wrote a book called Stevie Bonneville Wallace, and he named one of his albums is called Stevie Bonneville Wallace after he was inspired by that book. So that's how we're connected. Yeah.
Wow. See, I'm hip to Stevie Bonneville, right?
Oh,
I'm hip.
Well, I wrote that book.
Right? A lot of people don't know about Stevie Bonneville.
My man. Right. Well, I wrote the book, and he was able, once he read it, he got into it, and he read it, and then he was inspired to do an album on it. So that's how me and him is. Yeah.
Now I got to go back and play it now, right? I got to go back. You aware? I got a total different way that I look at that project, even though it's already dope. Now I got to go back and look at it.
Right.
Man, that's phenomenal.
Right.
That is phenomenal.
Right. And that book, I'm going to reissue it, and I'm going to probably have it up on Amazon soon. But that's how we're connected. But a great MC, a great MC. I love Wise. He's a great MC. But so as far as you said, you have a mixtape that you're working on. So a lot of MCs that I deal with, I'm just gonna let them know that you said you were looking for features.
Yes.
How do you look for your features? What is it? Is it a certain style they have to have? What is it that you look for?
No, I'm open to work with all artists. I'm not limited. I don't care what arena. I don't care if you gangster. I don't care if you trap. I don't care if you do a knowledge yourself. I don't care if you a rock rap. I'm not particular. I work with anybody. I work with all of the artists because I'm gonna be me on the track. And I'm also interested in making sure the track is as dope as it can be. I learned through time and watching artists that it's great to collab with other people.
Big time.
Right?
Yeah.
It's best to collab with other people, and whether even if it's not just on the track, they may have other businesses and other ventures that you may be able to do music for or commercials for their product. Things like that. I saw a brother that has a comic book, right? From your page that you were sharing. I'm interested in finding something and doing
That's
something.
my comic book. Yeah, those are mine.
Right?
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, wow, I like to do something with that brother because that's different. It's outside the box. So when I say collaborations, it's not just limited to hip hop or music or a certain style of music at all. Right? I'm interested in just working with artists. That helps build my brand as well as theirs, and networking is power. So, I don't have a specific style.
Well, I got a few cats that I would definitely put you on to that I know, cats that's actually doing stuff right now. My man Bert, I got my man Brom, he does beats and he's an MC as well.
Yes.
Bert, he's an MC. He was on this show before, and just your energy, brother. I love it. For those who listening right now, again, this is rappers and artists you never heard of. We with Stiggz Stigalo from y'all call it the Rock, right?
The Rock. Go to the Rock, ROC, aka the Lost Borough. We are the Lost Borough, the Rock, RO, you know what I mean? Upstate New York, where the water flows north like the Nile. Let's go.
Word, no doubt. Is there any other thing that you want people to check in? I would say, because for some reason I don't want to get off this live, if you could type in a link to anyone, I'm going to put it up anyway once I repost this. But if you want to put up something in right now, a link that they can go to, or if you want to let anyone know any other type of material that you're dealing with that we should be listening to right now.
Oh, listen, if you listen to anybody paying attention, one of the best things, you go check out my videos.
I'm gonna put those in the link. Yeah.
Go check out them videos. And I'm really interested in people listening to the lyrics, right? And because I take time to put them together, and I do things purposeful, right? So to get my message across. So that I learned this from Wise Intelligent. I don't do filler bars. I don't put things in at any place just because. Right. So another thing
that's key.
That's key. I'm gonna re-put up my project called Frequency 3333, the Antidote. It's called Frequency 3333, the Antidote. It's called that because the time lapse on that project is 33 minutes and 33 seconds exact. It wasn't planned, and it's the antidote because it's literally addressing the issues in our communities as well as in our lives without being corny. You know what I mean? So that's the last project I did. The next mix CD is kind of got a lot of some industry beats. That's what the Dynasty was. I'm doing a lot of hip hop joints from throwback beats. That's my tribute that's my tribute to the 50 years of hip hop. But also a project I have I'm working on is called Orisha Street Hop.
Say it one more time.
Orisha Street Hop.
What does that mean?
Street Hop. Okay, that is I'm a practitioner, not only a practitioner of E5, and also an Egungun ancestor priest. So this is bringing spirituality to the groundwork of hip hop in the streets. One thing. If we take a look at the Haitian Revolution, they might not have had all of the weaponry that the French army and Napoleon army and the rest of them has had. They did not have the guns. They did not have all of the high-tech explosion. However, what they did have was their spirituality. They did have their shrines. They did have guerrilla warfare. And they are the ones that kicked Napoleon's behind. run them off the map. They fought for their freedom. So when I'm talking about Orisha Street Hop, I'm speaking of empowering our peoples with spiritual tools to get themselves out of the situation that they've been, to be able to fight and fend for themselves. Much like the rock that we sat on, we used as a weaponry revolutionary tool. Much like that chair that we sat on August 5th was used as a revolutionary tool. So just because you might not have all of the quote unquote weaponry, I'm interested in equipping our people with the spiritual tools to keep the fight going, so that they don't quit, and make it cool.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
So that's my another project that I'm working on called Orisha Street Hop, and yeah, that's
okay.
major.
Okay, definitely. Send me the 30 what is 33?
3333 frequency, the antidote. Yes.
Okay, so send me that because the minute you get it, I'm gonna put that up, you know what I mean? I'm gonna repost a lot of that. Brother, again, to anybody that's listening, rappers and artists you never heard of, Stiggz Stigalo, bro. I want to ask you, is there anything that I missed that we should tap in that you want to express to our audience?
Oh man, shoot. Oh man, I can't. Let me see the opportunity. Let me not play with it. Let's see what we got here, man. Let me see what's going through my brain. Hey, aside from working with artists, let's see what we got. What other questions you have? What happens?
Okay, all right. Yeah, sometimes I like to hear if you got anything that you wanted to tap into. Let me go through my joints. Hold up, because I'll be digging in, man. I'll be definitely digging in.
I'll be digging in. I'm not limited either. Like I do conscious hip hop. Also, I'll make a hit in a second. I'll make a single for the radio without a problem. I also work with youth. You know what I mean? I work with youth in our community. We run
that was one of my questions. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I work with youth with Rap Entertainment, man. We run a music program with something called In Control out here, where I teach the children how to write bars. I teach them how
good. Go ahead.
Music to market themselves, teaching them about their publishing, teaching them about and putting projects together in real life time, right? So that when they're done with this program, that they're equipped to attack the industry in any space they want, whether it's as an MC, artist, or management, and so on and so forth, that they're equipped.
Right.
We didn't have that younger, and they don't have to pay for studio time at all.
Oh, good.
They don't pay anything at all. All they got to do is come show up.
Right.
I just had a bunch of artists that I work with do music for a movie soundtrack called Rapper's Choice. I'm going to send you the link for that. It's going to premiere tomorrow at one of the movie theaters out here. So we'll be at that. And it reminds me of those after school special movies because it's a jewel in it. And I have a great friend of mine who teaches the children every year how to they write the script. They write their own script.
Good.
They take the equipment, they film their own joint, and my man edits it, and I put together the music for it. As far as choosing the artists, helping them pick the subject matter, curating it, and putting it out there. So I'm definitely interested in letting people know, like, listen, work with the youth. And if you need me to or my team to come work with the youth where you at, fly us in. We will come set up a program. I also wrote the program. Whether it's a 12-week program, 8-week, or whatever it is. I took my time in one day. I wrote out the whole program, the curriculum, and what will go into it to build our youth, and we can start taking back control of our hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right, of course.
That's another example of giving the children early what we learn late.
Right.
So I think I definitely don't want to get off here without stressing the importance of working with youth and pointing out the fact that I definitely do work with youth.
Right. That's very important. Yep, that was one of my major questions that I was getting ready to hit you with. But you and when you working with them, what is it that you What is it that you see that they're getting out of it after you present them with the equipment to work with? What are some of the progresses that you've seen them do that you was like, wow, like some of the stories where you watch them actually come through, like your quote unquote success stories, you know?
Oh man, the one of the biggest things that I look at as a success story is these youth are coming to the program dealing with real life issues. They are dealing. I don't think adults really recognize how what these youngers are really dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and how life has put certain pressures on them, even having to deal with adult issues at a young age. And how the music and the space of being able to rhyme, create, becomes therapeutic for the child, right? That helps a child still be a child. Right? So I've noticed when they come, they may talk about home issues, things they're going through with their parents, things that are going through in school, and it really gives me an opportunity to give some sort of counseling, advice, the relationship build with them outside of the music. It's the relationship that where the bond that I'm having with the youth as I'm teaching them, because they're going to go out into the world, right? And I teach them that as you learn, it's your responsibility to give back. The same way I'm doing with you is as you continue to get older, you give back as well. So
big time.
So the success story is seeing lives change, seeing their viewpoints, seeing them have successes in life. A success could be something as far as recording your song and then you paying it back and hearing it. Or we got your song played on an independent radio station out here. Or you may hear yourself on a major radio station on a commercial or shoot a video. Or we're doing a showcase and we're invited. We did a showcase and we invited all of the parents. It was a packed house. And none of the children wanted to go anywhere. None.
That's tremendous.
You know what I mean? They all wanted to stay. They wanted to continue to work through the summer, and that to me is the success story. That means we have their
extreme
attention.
Success.
Yes,
that's
we have
extreme
their attention.
Success.
It's important to talk their language, and I also learn from them as well. I learn
of
from
course.
them.
Of course.
They keep me updated on my style. They keep me updated on hip hop. They keep me in tune on my ear to the street. So a lot of times I hear adults talk about the hip hop that they don't like, right? That's out there. I saw George Clinton in an interview say this: when he hears what adults don't like, he embraces it because he said that's going to be the next thing.
Exactly. Yup.
That will be the next thing.
Right.
So we give them guidance. So if we are hearing drill music or trap, okay, I get it. It's the beats, it's the drum. Now put this word here and spin this word here. And now we'll give your drill music purpose.
And it works like a champ. And that, first of all, thanks for that, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to ask you that question, because that's important. And I think I'm glad more people think like that, because I know even when I was coming up in the 90s, I was into a lot of the down south guys, and I loved that music. I still listen to underground stuff. I listen to the mainstream stuff. I listen to guys from the Bay Area, Cali. I just loved hip hop. I didn't get into, oh, that's too gangster, or it is, okay, some stuff is like, oh, but I said, yo, do you hear how they're saying it? Do you hear what but when you have guys like yourself or other people that say, well, yo, okay, I like that. You ever think about talking about this? And give it to them a little bit at a time. You're not trying to change them, but that's key. So I'm glad you tapped into that. Well, brother, I'm gonna say this. It was a pleasure to have you on this show. I love the style and your energy. So peace to all your endeavors moving forward. I don't stop promoting after the show. I continue to promote. I'm always promoting the old shows because I still got to get the views up, and I want people to see this. So I don't stop. So it's always continue. And then we're gonna stay in touch anyway, because Bow, that's my homie. Obi, that's my man.
Right.
Like, we've been knowing each other. So him and my brother, they connect. It goes so far back. So this is not over. That's what I'm gonna say. This is gonna continue to get promoted. And I'll talk to you off camera, but I want to link you up with a few cats, to see if they want to collab with you or however. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to. And we're going to keep it moving. I'm going to say this to all the people that was viewing. Thanks for viewing. This is rappers and artists you never heard of. Stiggz Stigalo, Rochester MC. Any last words, brother?
That's right. And first of all, thank you. I appreciate being on this platform. I have to give I cannot go any further without giving just due to Baba Obawa Jumi, who gave me the link. I cannot go any further without giving shout out to Baba Kukai Sarah, Egbe Edegun, my shrine lineage, my family who have blessed me with knowledge, who have poured into me, and I pray that I make them proud. Those who put me in positions,
you did.
I'm not looking to disappoint, and I'm very appreciative. And listen to the people. We got work to do. It ain't over. It's not over. We're not quitting.
It ain't never over.
Just getting started.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Just getting started.
We're just getting started.
Yes, sir.
And I want to leave y'all with this word. Blackvated. Don't forget, Stiggz Stigalo, aka Stigalo Swag Mode. Flat. You just been blackvated.
Word, my man. Peace, y'all. Again, y'all, thanks for coming out and check it out. You know what I mean? Stiggz Stigalo, like he said, stay black debated, no doubt. Peace.
Peace.